A person who truly changes doesn't care whether the outside changes or not, because they know the outside is not a measure of what state of being they choose to be. So if you make it conditional, well, if the outside changes, then I know I will have changed. You will never see the outside change because you haven't actually changed. But if you say, I am this, and it doesn't matter what's going on out there, then you've changed, and then the outside can reflect that. That's the paradox. You have to not need the outside to change for it to more easily do so. Because the measure of change is not whether the outside has changed. The measure of change is whether you respond differently to the outside, even if it still looks the same. That's how you know you've changed.
Okay, thank
Clear?
you. Yeah,
thank you for your compassionate communication.
Thank you.
Did you love that? How about your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs? They're not just abstract experiences. They're your frequency. And those frequencies are broadcasting your beingness in all of the universe. All of the universe is energy seeking to create for you. And we're about to dive into the law of vibration, the second universal law. You embodying you within is activating that vibration. Here's a succinct, unique bit of information for you. That vibration turned on the moment you were born into this duality. It's constantly on. And the energy that's hearing it is constantly seeking to serve that vibration, that frequency. The law of vibration reminds us that we are not passive participants. We are tuning forks, constantly emitting and receiving. We're constantly giving it out and we're constantly receiving back. We get to adjust the rhythms of it. We're the creator in this form. We're constantly emitting and we're constantly receiving. When we begin to understand our alignment with the vibration of energy, energy is constantly vibrating. The law of vibration and the law of manifestation, which we will get to that later, they're collaborators. You can't do one without the other. And you're the main function of both of those energies, the vibration and the manifestation. You're right in the middle. If you could look at yourself like a telephone pole, energy coming in and energy going out, right? So when we understand and align with this law, we no longer see our outcomes as willy-nilly, or everything is always happening to me. We begin to understand that everything is happening because of me. Negative or positive, it doesn't matter. The negative or the positive is here to give us opportunity to have a journey, to learn a lesson, to create. We are the magnet. and our magnet gets to match a frequency. So today we're going to explore, number one, how vibration is the invisible architect of our reality. It doesn't have to be seen. It just is. The real difference between high and low vibrational states and how quickly energy or vibration shifts. And just simply how to use it in everyday life. We get to dive into knowing ourselves, that we are energy. Know this about the universal laws. They cannot alter. They can't be altered. They have no gray area. There's nothing to play in. It came here to be. It just is. They don't decide anything for you. You decide everything because of what you're giving out and getting back. You are the decision maker. The universal laws, they don't budge. They were created for purpose by the Creator. They're always going to be there listening to you and giving you exactly what you're choosing. Like I said, they have no gray area. There's no blurred lines. Their function is to create for you. Energy has never been created, nor can it be destroyed. All it can do is be transmuted or altered by you or me. Why? We're the creator. So here's a brief description that I found best suited me for the law of vibration. It helped me to understand it. I'm going to share it with you. But guess what? You take what resonates and leave what doesn't. One size just doesn't fit all. The law of vibration states that everything in the universe is constant. It's constantly in motion, never stopping, never ceasing, vibrating at its own frequency. It never rests. Whether physical matter, sound, thought, or emotion, every element has its own vibratory frequency. Understand that this law considers to be the foundational laws to all the other laws, all the other universal laws. They all function around vibration, around frequency, including, as we said before, your most favorite, the law of attraction or manifestation. So where attraction speaks to drawing in your reality, vibrating is about the underlying frequency that determines what you're aligned with, what you're aligning yourself with. Remember, last week we talked about abundance. You can have an abundance of prosperity, and you can have an abundance of lack. What frequency are you vibrating in? That's what the universe is going to give back. The concept is both spiritual and scientific. Why? Because we are body, mind, and soul. As I call it, we're triune. We came in as a sovereign spiritual being, made a choice to have a human body and a aware mind, though at times we did forget about the awareness just for a little bit, but we were always conscious of living and making choices. We just weren't aware that we were getting what the energy of the choice back. We weren't aware that we got to change it. We got to create with it. My favorite saying is, now that you know that you're in a matrix, and this is a preconceived story already, why do you want to run from it? Why not be the creator and change it? So this concept is both spiritual and scientific. And in quantum physics, it's understood that all particles, atoms, molecules, etc., are constantly in motion. When I was in science class, and science wasn't, back then, it wasn't my favorite, but now I understand it a little bit more, that everything in this is in motion, down to the very atom within you. It's always moving. Your blood has to continuously flow throughout your body. It has to continuously, your blood vessels have to continuously get air. Your cells have to continuously move throughout your body. Your heart has to continuously beat in order to move the blood through your body. Your lungs have to continuously breathe in and out air to move your cells throughout your body. Everything is constantly in motion. Everything resonating at a frequency level. Spiritually, this law tells us that our thoughts and our emotions are constantly moving. They're constantly surrounding us. They don't just settle into us unless we reach out with that same frequency and bring it into us. There's a specific frequency for lack. There's a specific frequency for hate. There's a specific frequency for limited love and unconditional love. We are the attraction to the universal laws. We are. They're attracted to us. They were created that way. Right? So I gave you the overview. Let's go inward a little bit. Number one, energy is everything, and everything is energy. Objects, people, emotions, and thoughts are energy vibrations at various frequencies. Ask anybody who has a tuning fork, who's ever used a tuning fork, who's ever used a tuning fork to tune their piano or their guitar. This principle is rooted in both metaphysical teachings and the quantum physics. At a fundamental level, everything in the universe is made up of energy. I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but it bears repeating. Whether it is a solid object like a rock or an intangible concept like a thought, everything consists of atoms and subatomic particles that are constantly in motion. Physical matter appears solid, but everything within it is constantly in flow. It's constantly moving. So the desk that you bought with the wood that you think is dead, it's just the matter within it is just moving at a slower vibration, a slower frequency, but it's still moving. Why? Because month after month, or let's put it this way, day after day, month after month, year after year, your wood desk starts to deteriorate to the point where one of the legs doesn't sit quite as high as the other. The wood probably is a little frayed now, and you have wood dust falling off of it. I have a drawer that I keep in my cabinet, and I've had it so long that it's deteriorating, and the sawdust of my drawer that I keep my clothes in has sawdust on it. It's vibratorily moving, shifting. Yeah, it's becoming less malleable. I still can use it, but now I have to shake my clothes off. The same thing with clothes, with fabrics. Everything has a vibration, right? The principle suggests that if everything is energy, this principle, this law of vibration suggests that if everything is energy, we are all interconnected. We are all energy. Every being, human beings, trees, grass, dirt, water, streams, oceans, lakes, air, volcanoes, mountains, even the things that we say, oh, that's dead. A dead animal vibrates. It vibrates because it can deteriorate. Dead plants vibrate because guess what? The vibration shifts and it deteriorates. It can go back to a different form. We as human beings may call that dying, but the universe is just, it's going back to its original form, energy. Energy cannot die. It can only transform. And how does it do that? By vibration and frequency. So number 2, like attracts like. That's just another way of saying that the universe is mirroring you. If you don't like something, but you give your vibrational frequency to it, whether you don't like it or not, it's going to keep giving that particular frequency or matter to you. Why? Because that's how you're vibrating. You're vibrating in that frequency. Higher vibrations align with other higher vibrational experiences, whether they be joy or love or abundance, or whether they be lack, fear, or stress. This is a foundation. So we dive into what's our foundation? How are we vibrating? Know thyself. Ask yourself an embodying question about your vibrational frequency. That's embodying the law of vibration. Higher vibrations align with other higher vibrational experiences, like joy, love, like abundance. They also vibrate with lower vibrations like fear and lack and stress. This is the foundation of vibrational alignment and closely ties to the law of attraction, according to this idea. That's how the universe knows what to bring you. It's tapping into your vibrational access access to what you really want. And that's where embodiment comes in. Be it. How does the universe know if you want peace? You have to vibrate what peace is. You have to, or no, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, but it would be nice for you to vibrate in what peace feels like for you and give the universe information so it can mirror it back to you. So it can meet your vibration where you're at. If you're talking about peace, but you're constantly sitting in anti-war rallies, yelling about anti-war, it's going to give you more of that energy that you're yelling about. It's going to lead you to more things that are not peace. Not to say you don't have to, you cannot like that a war is happening. It's how are you going to meet the vibration of that in order to effectively change your surroundings to not only have peace within yourself or around yourself, but to share it with others. Like Ra has always stated that we are here for service to others, or we're here to choose service to self. And service to self is doing whatever you have to do for yourself at the cost of others. And service to others is knowing that when you service others, you are servicing self. Because you are wholeness and part of and included in the all. When we vibrate, what are we vibrating? What frequency are we telling the universe we want? You see, I've called it many different things. The universe, the vibration, frequency, the creator, matrix, illusion. We're telling these things that we want something that's vibrating. What are we telling it? Do we know ourselves? The more we know ourselves, the more we tap in to knowing how we are vibrating, how we are using our frequency, then we know what the universe is giving back to us, how we got to where we got. Especially if it's something you go, well, this isn't what I wanted. I didn't want, I'll use myself as an example. I didn't want a failed marriage, but I didn't know myself and what I really wanted. So the more that I dived into the frequency of unhappiness about a failed marriage, the more I met men who were going to give me the opportunity for another failed marriage, because I was vibrating there, because that's where my frequency was constantly in motion. I'm not saying that'll happen to you. I'm saying I finally understood it. So I had to change my vibration. I had to surround myself with who I was and what I really wanted, and then vibrate that to the universe. I had to tap into my own frequency, right? Higher vibration, I'm sorry. Yeah. So I went to almost go to the next one before we finish. When you are in a state of joy, we'll just talk about joy and gratitude and love because most people talk about that. And confidence, you're telling the universe, this is what I'm vibrating at. This makes you more receptive to experiences and people and outcomes that match those vibrations because the universe is saying, that's what Sandra wants. That's what she's vibrating at. And it could be just that simple. But sometimes, most times, living life is not simple. It's about learning. It's about growth. It's about expansive. Sometimes life just gets messy. But in the messiness, you get to know thyself. There's nothing wrong with life being messy. It's vibrating. The messiness is vibrating you somewhere. The question is, are you listening? In the same vein, if we're dwelling in anger, unhappiness, or resentment, fear, or hopelessness, then this is what you're vibratorily aligning with, this frequency, then that's where the universe is going to mirror it back to you. Doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that you get to, it keeps coming up. Then eventually, if these sort of scenarios keep coming up to you, hopefully you get to a point where you ask an embodying question of yourself. Why do I keep vibrating towards these type of people? Or why do these people keep vibrating towards me? So in practice, this means that your emotional and your energetic state is like a magnet. What you radiate is what you pull in. Number 3, we tapped into this at the beginning of the introduction. You are a transmitter and you are a receiver. You're both. Your personal vibration influences what you attract, what you experience, and what you perceive in life. I love this example. Think of yourself as a radio tower. I said earlier, telephone pole. You're constantly broadcasting your internal state, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your beliefs, your non-beliefs, and receiving information and experiences that match that. I take that pause so that we can take that in. We are responsible for what comes into us as well as what goes out of us. If you're broadcasting confidence and possibilities, you're more likely to notice opportunities and attract people that match that. If you're vibrating a frequency of the opposite, hate and discord, drama, the universe has no recourse but to match that and give it back to you. So yes, if you're vibrating insecurity and fear, you're putting it out there by telling other people that they should do this and they shouldn't do this, and they're wrong for this, and they'll never get anywhere, they'll never be anything. That's a vibration that you're putting out. Guess who gets that back? Not the people that you're giving it to. You, me. If I put that out there, I'm going to get it back. If I decide to be a bully and I put out a bullyish vibrational frequency, I am going to get back in some way, form, or fashion somebody or something or a situation or circumstance that presents itself with bullyish frequency. Your experience will reflect what you give out. Yeah, that's another law that we are going to go deeper into, the law of cause and effect, otherwise known, aka karma. Importantly, this principle underscores self-awareness, embodiment. You get to embody yourself. You become self-aware. In the book that I believe Rhonda Byrne wrote, we are awareness, and awareness is always aware. And awareness is always energy seeking to serve the form body, the conscious mind. Being, capital B-E-I-N-G, the creator. Whoa, right? You're not just a passive observer. You can observe, yes. You can discern, yes. But you have the power to shape your experience. You have the power to shape your journey. You have the power to tap into your internal frequency and transmute it before you transmit it. You get to change it at any moment, anytime. You get to shift it. You get to shift your frequency at any time and change your thoughts. You get to change your emotions or emotional state and your environment. But guess what? You get to do that. Nobody else is going to do that. So if you sit and you want to be in victim mode for however long you want to be, the universe, that frequency, that law of vibration is listening to that. So if you want to be a victim in victim mode, in the why me state, go ahead and do that. If you want to say, well, I understand what my higher being is doing. I understand what you told me, Sandra, but I got to feel this. And then you decide to feel it for a full whole year. You're going to get that vibrational frequency of that woe is me for a full whole year. It has no recourse but to do that. There is no gray area. It's not going to think for you and say, hey, it's time to stop. You're the creator. You get to decide that. If you know that you have things that vibrationally are triggering to you, and they're your triggers, and frequency it's all about frequency. And enough people have said something that has triggered you about that same thing, but you choose not to change, correct, surrender, alchemize. You choose not to change that. Then the universe says, we'll stick with giving you this. It's your frequency. And it's here to say, your wish is my command. That's what frequency says. Your wish is my command. This is what you want. I'm gonna mirror this back to you. You can shift your frequency at any time by changing your thought, your emotional state, and your environment. You can do that. Nobody else can do that for you. A lot of people wish they could for you. But if you're not moving in that vibrational frequency state, nothing's going to change for you. Your vibrational frequency isn't fixed. It changes moment to moment depending on, guess what? What you're thinking, on the environment that you choose to stay in, on the people that you choose to surround yourself with, on the food, the media, and the content that you choose to consume, and how you talk about the food, the media, and the content that you're consuming. This means that you're never stuck. That's where you chose to be. If you find yourself in a lower vibrational state, you can intentionally raise your vibration by doing, I'm going to give you some suggestions now. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Practicing gratitude, listening to uplifting music, engaging in physical movement or in nature, engaging or being focused or empowering yourself in new beliefs. It's known that beliefs, if you stay in them vibratorily enough, they become your truths. And only you can change those. Only you can stop focusing on what doesn't empower you anymore. But only you can do that. Only you can surround yourself with positive people, because you start thinking and vibrating in a frequency of positiveness, depending on what your definition of positiveness is. You know, Abraham Hicks has always talked about being positive. It's not that they don't deny that you can be in a vibrational tone of the upper polarities of positiveness or the lower polarities of negativeness. They're always saying, choose positive. You can do that. It's your choice. You're the creator. You get to vibrate where you get to vibrate in the energy and in the intent that you want to vibrate in. I've heard Abraham Hicks say, if we had choice, if we were you, if we were the human, we would choose unconditional love. So I found the saying. It says, the principle of vibratory frequency brings hope and agency. You have the tools to recalibrate your energy and therefore your reality. It's all frequency, it's all vibration, and energy. Frequency is always in motion. So let's talk about principle and meanings. Everything is energy. The meaning is all things, physical and non-physical, vibrate with energy. Let's talk about like attracts like. You draw in experiences that match your energy frequency. Let's recap on you are a transmitter and a receiver. Your vibration shapes what you notice, attract, and experience. It mirrors it back to you. Vibration is dynamic. You can shift your frequency. I'm going to say it again. You can shift your frequency through your awareness and through your action. Once again, this law cannot be altered. It does not decide anything. It will not budge. And it will not have any gray areas or blurred lines in the function of how it was created for you to create from. Are you ready for the next part? I am. How to embrace the law of vibration. How to embrace it, how to embody it. You're the creator. You get to do whatever you want. You can turn this off now and go play. You can go play football or go hang with the girls, whatever you choose. To embrace the law of vibration means becoming conscious of your energy, not somebody else's, and taking ownership of your I'm going to slow my roll, of your vibratory frequency that you offer the world. What you see outside in the world constantly, and it's frazzling to you, it's whew. You have to go within. What are you giving out that you see it that way? You can't change the outward unless you go inward. What is in is out. What is out is in. I know you've heard that before, but it's pretty much to embrace the law of vibrational means becoming conscious of your energy and taking ownership of your vibratory field, frequency, action that you're offering out to the world. And remember, you're a transmitter. You're giving out and and it's coming back in. Now here are some suggestions. Become aware of your current vibration. Ask yourself daily, what am I feeling right now? What kind of thoughts am I entertaining? When a thought comes in, I've had several thoughts come in and go, ooh, where did that come from? And I have to, sometimes they stop me. And I have to ask, why did I entertain that thought? Because if it moved me, it means that it's being transmitted out, and I'm going to get some kind of version of it back. So I want to know. If I can't if I can't go deep enough to find where it came from, then it might have come from a TV program that I watched, or having a commercial come on, or listening to a song or whatnot, or just hearing people in the neighborhood talk. And I absorbed it. Well, it doesn't mean I have to keep it. It means that I get to say, okay, now I'm going to change it. It doesn't make me a bad person because I had that thought. Don't judge yourself. Right? Use your body's awareness. Your body is an instrument that senses vibrations. It senses frequency. You can tell your muscles tighten up, your throat gets all scratchy or garbled, or your joints start to swell. You start to have parts of your body that are just really, really achy, or you're coming into the presence of energy or people who attempt to always put you at a disadvantage, and you start to sweat. You start to have bad thoughts about yourself. Your body starts to talk to you. Pain body always opens up and gives you information. You can keep a journal. You can write about your emotional patterns or thoughts or frequencies. You can tune into yourself. Right? You can understand the emotion of your frequency. You have a scale. Some things bother you just a little bit, you can brush them off. Then some just make your heart hurt, or your heart pound, or you get headaches. Examples: vibration of love, joy, peace, gratitude, enthusiasm. How do those make you feel? Where does that frequency take you? Shame, guilt, anger, fear, hopelessness. Where does that take you? You have to embody yourself and know about these feelings, these frequencies, how they make you feel. You certainly can push them down, cover them up, pretend they don't exist. Try not to feel them because it hurts too much. And then what happens is when you push them down, cover them up, or pretend they don't exist, when someone comes along and talks about it in a certain way about themselves, or even them saying how they feel about you, it triggers you. It's not their trigger. It's ours. We eventually have to deal with it. How does it make you feel? Some people write a song. Some people do a music video. Some people go and write a full-length feature movie. Some people write a book. Some people write poetry. Some people do art. Some people go and yell at somebody who doesn't deserve it, but you gave them what for anyway, because it made you feel good. But that energy, when you put it out, it comes back to you, not necessarily to the you probably have to try to walk it back with that person if they even stay in your vibratory sphere of growth and expansion in your story and your journey. Or maybe they moved on. They say, oh shit, I don't want to be in the same area with that person. But you still should try to embody yourself and your vibrations. You're the only one that can check that. The goal isn't to never have a bad feeling. That's something else that I learned from Abraham Hicks. It doesn't, just because you learn the secret of manifestation and this vibration, doesn't mean you're never ever going to have a bad feeling. But you become fluent and aware of how to shift it when it turns up. Number 3, surround yourself with high vibrations. Yep, I've heard Abraham Hicks and Bashar speak of this. Spend time with people who uplift you. If it feels good when people make you laugh, or they talk about the good things that you've done and how that has helped them, spend time with them. And then give thanks and gratitude for it. The more you give thanks and gratitude for high vibrational people that are around you, the universe knows to bring you more high vibrational people. In your environment, create a space that feels right for you. And you're the only one that can tell the universe what space you need. Vibratorily, tapping into the frequency of the space that you need. What type of lighting do you need? What inspires you? What is harmonious to you? You don't have to like soft music just because somebody else says, oh, I do the vibrational soft music. You could like hard rock. You could like the drums in it, the guitar. It might not be about the words. It might be about the vibrational frequency of what moves you. If we're talking about media, consume the content that energizes and educates you rather than drains you. Your body will tell you. You can practice being mindful and being present. Being present, or being in your now moment, helps you tune in to what you're emitting. You get to become more aware of what you're giving out. And sometimes that might be in meditation, or you become conscious or one with your breathing. For others, it might be a nature walk, or for some, it might be helping to calibrate or recalibrate your energetic state. What state do you want to be in? Act as if you're already in the frequency. We did it when we were children. We played. I remember playing with my sisters and brothers and our friends in the neighborhood, and we would play cooking hamburgers. We would play being at a barbecue, and we were little kids, and we made hamburger patties with dirt and water, and we really got into it. And some of us actually ate the dirt and water. I'm still alive. I don't suggest it for you being parents and doing it for your kids, but make believe and embody the frequency before you have it, before you have the manifestation of the situation, circumstance, or the thing that you want. Be the love that you want manifested for you from a lover or a family member. Be it. Show the universe and that frequency and the vibratory energy what love looks like for you. Become the cause and not just the receiver. Cause and effect. Become the cause. Cause does not always mean something negative. The law of cause and effect, what you put out, you get back. What are you being? Use vibratory or rituals to raise your frequency. And I know that just threw you saying rituals, but it's just things that you do. You do something every day. Practice gratitude. That'll shift your frequency. Other people talk about affirmations. You probably talked about them yourself. Embody those affirmations. Become the affirmations that you speak out loud. Not just speak them, become them. Become the frequency. Some people use music or singing bowls or chanting to raise their frequency. If this feels good to you, try it. Some people use dance. Some people use yoga. Some people shake and tap. Some people use visual boards. Be the visualization. If you wake up from a dream and you say, "Oh, that seems so real," visualize it. Take it in. See what your body and your aware mind is telling you about it. Become it. Some people put up energetic boundaries. Just don't make sure that the boundary is not making you a victim and keeping you captive. Some people cleanse their energy with salt baths and smudging and Reiki.
The whole point of getting into alignment with who you are through breathing or through meditation is that if you can distract yourself from thoughts that are in your way, then you'll be there. It's like if you hold the cork under the water, you've got resistance on the cork because its natural tendency is to rise in the water. So if you let go of it, it will rise. So if you let go of the thought that's holding you in resistance, your vibration will rise. And that's the whole point of meditation. So there are lots of techniques, but anything that you focus upon that is interesting enough that you'll stop thinking about the things that are holding you down is a good technique. The breathing long in, big breaths in, and then long time out. The technique that we teach is a little unnatural in that it's a shorter time taking it in and a longer time letting it out. And the reason that we like it so much is because it's just weird enough you have to think about it. And so since it's weird enough that you have to think about it, then you can't think about the other things that you are introducing resistance into your experience in that moment. And you'll get so that breathing just takes you right to where you want to be so easily that after a little while you realize that you have not got any good excuse for ever being in a state of resistance, because you're breathing all day, every day. And if you'll just stop and focus on your breathing while you're driving, while you're walking, while you're running, while you're lying in bed, while you're sitting in readiness for meditation, while you're listening to someone talking, in any moment in time, these are tools you have with you. You don't need to carry rocks around. You don't need to carry recordings around. You don't need to be with somebody else. You have the ability to breathe all the time. And you have the ability to focus upon your breath all the time. And when you make your conscious attention to your breath your friend, now you've got this steady tool that will lower your blood pressure and improve your recall and improve your flexibility and give you new agility and open your doors to insights and hook you up with inner being and let you trust that the rock is there and give you the physical prowess, the physical coordination to know it's there, to leap for it, and the balance to find it. Everything that you wish for can come to you through nothing more than breathing deliberately. That's all it takes. But most of you don't. You don't even know you're breathing. Have you ever caught yourself taking a big gasp and you realize, I don't think I was breathing. I don't think I was breathing. Do you ever yawn? That's your inner being knowing that you haven't been breathing and giving you an impulse that causes you to breathe. That's what yawning is.
Did you like that? I loved it. Right? The law of vibration reminds us that we are not passive participants. We are co-creators. We are co-creators vibratorily in all of the universe. So when we change our energy, when we change our experience, frequency-wise, vibrationally wise, we change our outer world. Sometimes we're not even walking succinctly with anyone else that was in that field of discord, that field of resistance, that field of just, I'm waiting for the divine. The divine is giving me the word of cosmic chaos. There are some people that think that cosmic chaos is, that's not healthy. The cosmic chaos gives us a little bit to create from. They're not in step with that, but maybe you are. Creating a little bit of background for you. Frequency-wise, changing it up. Maybe you don't want to listen to jazz. Maybe you want to change it up and go find something that's more jazz and R&B and blend it. Or a little country rock and R&B and blend it. It might not be what they want, but you've got to embody you. Right? When you're ready to change your energy, your vibratory energy, your field, your quantum field of frequency, only you can change it. The key is to consistently be aware and embody you. Consistently be aware of being consistent Be aware of awareness. Be aware of your embodiment. You don't have to be perfect at it. Perfect is very overrated. You get to tap in to your frequency. As Abraham Hicks says, tune in, tap in, and turn on in your frequency. You get to be consciously loving to yourself, inward, and then the universe is going to reflect that outward. Right? Speak life into your body. Have a discerning thought. If you've got thoughts that are just coming in, you get to stop them at any time and say, wait, I'm going to discern you. What kind of frequency are you bringing to my table? You're talking to yourself. You're talking from your higher self to your personality, or that self of the ego that's trying to give you information. But maybe it's not the information that you need anymore. You get to speak life into your body. You get to eat the foods that you want to eat. But when you find out that you need more foods with a different frequency and a different vibration, it's your choice to choose them. You get to tune in to a new different habit that vibrates for your highest and greatest good, and choose that. Not somebody telling you that I did this for me and you need to do this for you. No. You need to embody you and have discernment about what is for your highest and greatest good. You can take information in and discern it. You can choose different routines that are better for your highest and greatest good. And then all of a sudden, you're in a different frequency. You're in a different energetic field. You get to choose that. Nobody can choose that for you. They can try, and sometimes they can vibratorily in that frequency field, and only if you're in that same field can they bully you into you doing something that's not for your highest and greatest good. But it's not. My mother used to tell me, you can't give away your joy. No, actually, I got that backwards. I'm going to take. She says, no one can steal your joy, Sandy, but you can give it away. Now I understand that. If you're in the vibratory high frequency or a lower frequency where people are taking from you and you're not happy about it, it's not because they're just willy-nilly doing it. You're allowing it. When you decide that you don't want them to bully you into giving up your joy, then you'll be in a different vibratory field that says, no, ain't having it no more. And they won't be able to be in your vibratory field anymore. You won't be vibrating there. Right? You get to change you. You get to attract the things that you love. So here we go. Let's recap this. The law of vibration, it cannot be altered. It cannot decide anything for you. The law of vibration will not budge. The law of vibration has no gray areas, no blurred lines, and it functions exactly as the divine creator created it to function for your highest and greatest good. Thank you. You get to embody them. You get to decide how you want the universe to reflect back to you. You want to be a transmitter out, and the universe is going to transmit back to you exactly what you gave it. What are you giving it? So I thank you for joining me on this deep dive. Right? The vibration is an invisible architect that the universe created for you. The law of vibration. It's invisible, but you feel it everywhere. When you tap into it, be the creator. Doesn't matter if it's on the low vibration or the high vibration. You're the creator. Your inner body and your aware mind is going to help you become even better creator in all of your journeys. There is no perfect way to do this. Just go be. Thank you for joining me. Next week, we are going to have the law of attraction, everybody's favorite. Next Tuesday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join me then. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. My vibratory frequency says, I'll be here. Hope you are too. Thank you.